Okay, ladies and gents, what's up? So here's my preview this time for the game between Manchester United and Arsenal here. Obviously for United, this is going to be a very difficult game. Well, I don't think entirely difficult, but obviously if you compare this Arsenal team right now, man, and United, obviously Arsenal, they have really improved and stepped their game up under Arteta. And, you know, the way how Arsenal were patient with Arteta, this is what United just needs to do with Ten Hag as well. Just be patient with him, you know. And once we have money to spend, then let him get the players he wants if United want to be a Champions League contender again. Because, you know, for this game, the biggest thing that really is that really bums me out is the fact that, you know, Casemiro's not going to be playing, you know, because he got suspended. And that's the really crappy part, because obviously in the game against Crystal Palace, you know, one thing I'm trying to figure out is why were United not awarded a penalty? They should have, in my opinion, been awarded a penalty. And, you know, Casemiro picked up a yellow, even though I don't think it was a yellow really, but, you know, since he picked up that yellow card, now he's going to be suspended, and that's going to leave a big hole in United's defense. And this is why I wish United would have gone after an extra CDM, you know, because obviously for this game, I don't know anybody that could replace Casemiro for this game, because trying to replace a player like Casemiro is downright impossible, especially since I still think he's the best CDM in the world besides, well, you know, Conte, you have him, but I still think that for this year, Casemiro, he's been outperforming Conte as the best CDM in the world. And, you know, it's just with Casemiro's presence there, he gives that, you know, he covers basically, like, you know, a lot of ground for United's defense, you know, and he's the main reason why United have not been conceding on the counterattack, you know, mainly because of Casemiro, because what his best trait as a footballer is that he can just cover a lot of ground and, more importantly, prevent counterattacks. That's how Madrid, you know, were able to maintain their three straight Champions League victories. It's just mainly due to Casemiro's presence there and him just not allowing opposing teams to hit Madrid on the counterattack and all that stuff. And without him there, it's going to be tough to figure out how to defend against this Arsenal front attack, because that's what United need to do. Because besides Casemiro, the only player that's been doing really good, I guess, in United's back four, I would have to say would be, you know, Luke Shaw. I mean, he's been performing like Roberto Carlos, that I can understand why people have been calling him, you know, Shawberto Carlos and all that stuff. But yeah, man, United, just when they need Casemiro, he's out for this game. And this is why I really feel like United should have, you know, if they had any money to spend, you know, because I do think at times that maybe they overpaid for Antony by, I don't know, 30, 40 million, because it's like Antony wasn't even worth 100 million, I guess, but they just decided to, you know, basically just chuck out 100 million for him. And I feel like that if only they would have chucked out 50 or even 60 million for him, then they still would have had like, what, 40, 50 million left, and they could have used the rest of that money to sign a good goal poaching striker and, most importantly, also sign an extra CD. And that's what United could have used. But since they have limited finances, limited money, then they can't really spend a whole lot. But yeah, that's the biggest issue United, the biggest area of need I think United needed beside a striker is basically just a good, you know, extra CDM. Because if they had a good extra CDM that they could have gotten, then maybe I would have been more confident heading into this game for United. But I still think it's a winnable game for United at the end of the day, except that it's just going to make it a little bit tougher with figuring out how to stop Arsenal's defense, mainly since Casemiro is going to be suspended and all that stuff. But I guess one way how United can win this game is by simply winning the midfield battle against Arsenal, and most importantly, just, you know, the biggest player to watch out for in this game is wondering, you know, whether they can, you know, put Rashford in position to score, because obviously this is going to be one of those games, I think, where Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes will really have to, you know, step up their game, because obviously last game, you know, the player that really performed the best, in my opinion, was Bruno Fernandes. But, you know, towards the end of the game, you know, against Crystal Palace, United just basically really underperformed in front attack, and against Arsenal they can't afford to let their guard down, especially against Arteta, like how they did against Crystal Palace. So yeah, my final prediction for this game is 2-1 for United. You know, I think Rashford's gonna score 2 goals, so yeah, I think United can still maybe get a win. Even though, Arsenal, man, they could surprise United. They definitely have what it takes to beat United. This is why United got to step up their game and really be on their A game against Arsenal and get used to life without Casemiro for this game. So, yeah, that's about it. Go United.